Hey there, Tom Hicks here, CPA with JT Hicks and Company, tax advisors. And sorry, Shannon, let's start that over. Hey there, JT Hicks, CPA here with JT Hicks and Company, tax advisors and consultants. And today I'm here to talk to you about New Year's resolutions. So at one time or another in all of our lives, we've created some New Year's resolutions because this is the beginning of the new year, and it's sort of a time-honored tradition. And it almost doesn't really matter what it is. Some of us want to say lose weight, we want to go to the gym more, maybe we want to read more books, maybe we want to travel, whatever it is. And we have good intentions when we, say these things that we are in fact going to achieve our goal. But there's even a day in January, it's sort of an unofficial holiday called Quitter's Day. It's the day that you actually forget about it and give up, and you're just not going to pursue it anymore. Uh, but it got me thinking. I thought that it would be a great time to share some New Year's resolutions that I want you to consider. I want you to maybe look at maybe implementing in your financial life. And so let me share those with you, and we'll talk about each one of them. Now, there's a few things that there's five things on my list that I'd like to share with you. The first one here is revisit your retirement contributions. This is only too easy to kind of just let this slide because it's all on cruise control. You've set something up with your employer, maybe a specific percentage or maybe a specific amount. And you kind of just set it and forget it, and you really don't do anything. And you could conceivably be contributing more to your 401k, your IRA, whatever it is. So what I'd like you to do is consider changing your contribution by just 1 to 2%. It doesn't have to be a lot. 1 to 2% now will be thousands upon thousands of dollars, much more than that actually, maybe 30 years from now when you retire, that sort of thing. But I promise you won't even miss it in your paycheck. 1 to 2% is barely anything. You're wasting that much money annually on going to Starbucks or going through the drive-through at the local whatever fast food restaurant you have, near your workplace or your home, whatever it is. I know you're wasting, this much money anyway. And there's a lot of places in your personal budget, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, where you could really make some cuts and you could make up for that. So let's move on to number two. Number two is, of course, create a budget. I was just mentioning that. Build a realistic monthly plan of, your income and your expenses. And I often think of, if you've never heard of the 10 pretty good rules, pretty good rule, I think it's number five, says, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. And a budget's kind of like a roadmap. It's a plan that, can show you, where you're going to have expense months that you're going to have expenses, where your expenses are going to be higher. Maybe you're going to have more budget issues in that month, maybe than other months. And it really depends on, obviously what your personal situation looks like. But, there's great programs out there now that can help you manage your money, Rocket Money, Monarch Money, Quicken. There's a lot of programs out there, some of them which are free. The last time I checked, a program called Mint, MINT, was online and it was free to use. And it was a really, kind of interesting tool to help you kind of pull together your personal finances. So think about creating and updating a budget so that you have a roadmap, right? You have a view, you know where you're going for 2026. Let's move on to number three. Plan ahead for college costs. Look, there's no time like the present. If you have a child, from the time that child is born, you can open a 529 plan. It's also called a next gen account, where you and your family members can make contributions into that fund for that child's education later in life. And that can be trade school, post-secondary like college. There's a lot of other qualifying education that goes along with this plan that you could use this money for. If you're self-employed, we can show you how to employ your children and pay them a wage, which then goes into a 529 plan, and your business gets a tax deduction for the wages that you've paid that child. That money all goes into the 529 plan. It begins to grow tax-free. Ultimately, when it's used for, tuition at whatever, education institution that they're going to be going to, it all comes out, tax-free. So, why not make an opportunity to, get a tax deduction? And you quite literally are making college tax deductible, right? So there's rules and regulations around this sort of thing. So always consult a qualified tax professional before you you start some type of a tax strategy like this. But 529 plans, it's never too late and it's never too early, right? You could get these accounts open when the child is born. In many states, the state actually contributes money to the account for all newborn children in that state. That's true here in Maine, and so that's free money. Why wouldn't if you didn't do anything else, why wouldn't you do just that? Open the account, get it started, get the money in there, the free money that is being offered. So let's move on to number four. Number four being, get ahead on your tax planning, right? It's January. Your tax return is not due until April, but if you're like most people, in January, you're I call it the holiday hangover. You've been through Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Everybody's just kind of tired of the whole affair, and you spend all of January basically doing nothing, or at least nothing productive towards your to getting ready to prepare your income tax return. Documents are starting to come in the mail. Most of them don't even come in the mail anymore, folks. You have to log on to some website, probably like your employer has a payroll service that you have an account on, and to get your W-2, you have to log on, print the W-2 or download it so that you can use it for preparing your taxes or handing it off to your tax professional, whatever that is. But getting organized early is going to be a huge benefit to you when it comes to the time that you actually go to visit your tax professional. Now, look, your tax professional has a document that they can give you. It's usually called a client organizer or a tax planner, something like that. And this is a document that's customized to you. Typically, it has information which you've reported in the prior year is reported in this document, and it is a kind of a section by section review of your income, your deductions, maybe your itemized deductions, credits, children, all that kind of stuff. And it acts really as a reminder for you to, bring these documents to your tax professional. There's also usually about 50 or 75 questions. Answering those questions, critically important for your tax, your tax preparer to be able to cover all of the potential opportunities for you, to make sure we're claiming all your income, we're getting all of the deductions to which you're entitled, we're making sure that we have all of your itemized deductions like medical, mortgage interest, real estate, state and local income taxes, all of that stuff to bring to them when you finally do go to visit them. And look, let's be honest, right? The number one reason that your tax return gets delayed in your tax professional's office is you. It's you, because you don't take the time to go over all of these documents before you go to visit your tax professional. And every time that phone rings from that person to say, you forgot to give me A, B, C, and D, the meter is running like a taxi, right? It's running up your bill when your professional has to call you to make sure that they have stuff that they believe to be missing, right? So use that document and be better prepared when you go in to see your tax professional. All right, let's talk about number 5, which is building a safety net. Now, by this I mean savings. You hear this in the news at least once a year. Most Americans could not afford a $500 unexpected expense. And I think the number 5 goes hand in hand with number 2, in that you can take steps to improve your savings so that when that unexpected expense comes up, you don't have to go to a credit card. Look, folks, you're probably paying 24% in that neighborhood on your credit cards. It's incredibly expensive to pay for things and on a credit card and then pay for it over time. It's just killing you. I promise you, your credit card debt is like a weight around your neck, and you're trying to swim across a river, and you're going to drown. You're going to drown in this debt. So try and avoid that. If you can, through your employer and direct deposit, most payroll services allow you to direct deposit into up to 3 different accounts. So you could have some of your paycheck going into checking, some going into savings, and some maybe going directly to, say, a 529 plan or an IRA, like a retirement, some type of retirement plan that you could have this money going. And I promise you, you won't even miss it. You won't miss it out of your paycheck, out of your checkbook every week. And then after a period of time, you're going to find that, hey, I've got some savings, and when I need that new set of tires that I wasn't expecting to have to buy, I've got some cash that I can pay for this, and I don't have to put it on my credit card to be able to do that. So it's also worth checking, going through your budget and really looking at all your expenses. One of the things that you see this on television with this television program or a commercial called Rocket Money, where it looks at your bank accounts, and it shows you all of these subscriptions that you have. This, the constant monthly draw, like, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Paramount, Apple TV, all of that stuff. And I promise you that you are dying a death of 1,000 cuts. You probably have hundreds of dollars every single month coming out of your checking account that you've completely forgotten about because you put it on cruise control, you put it on the set it and forget it. I don't have to write a check, mail it in. I don't have to go to a website, to put in my payment information. I just have it on cruise control. And, that may be fine for your mortgage payment, your car payment, that kind of thing. But if you're not paying attention, then, these subscriptions, especially the ones that you do on a trial basis, right? You're dying a death of 1,000 cuts here. And you could look very carefully at what you're spending through those automatic withdrawals and find a lot more savings and potentially even a lot more that you can put into your retirement plan. So that's it. Those are my 5 New Year's resolutions for you. I hope that this has been helpful. And again, if I can be of some help to you, if you'd like to learn about how you can be more tax efficient, you can visit my website here. This is jthicksandcompany.com. In upper right-hand corner here, you can see a Contact Us button. All you have to do to get an appointment with me is click that button, and you'll get access to my calendar, and you can self-schedule a telephone call or an online meeting with me, and we'll talk about whatever your tax concerns are. And if you have a topic that you'd like us to tackle, you can, right through our website, right there, through the Contact Us button, you can send me an email and tell me, hey, Tom, I'd like you to do a presentation on, some particular topic, and I'd be happy to put something out there for you. So again, Tom Hicks, CPA with JT Hicks and Company, tax advisors and consultants. Thanks so much for watching.